Welcome to Sensible Secondhand Reviews, or in this case, not very sensible secondhand reviews. The series we look at, usually practical and sensible cars which you can buy for a budget of between £1,000 and £5,000. In this case, not particularly sensible, but still quite practical cars that you can buy for a budget between £1,000 and £5,000. This is a 2007 Honda Civic 2-litre Type R GT. But is it any good? Should you care? Let's find out, shall we? So the FN and FK Honda Civics, they were sort of FN 1 to 4 and FK 1 to 4, depending on whether you're looking at the 3 or 5 door version, were released in 2006, this generation for the European market being built in Swindon. This particular car, the Type R version, is called the FN2, and it has a K20 engine, a non-turbo, developing about 200 horsepower with a 6-speed manual gearbox. Other versions available, which were in 3 or 5 door version, were a 1.4 with about 80 horsepower, which came from the Mark II Jazz, a 1.4 with about 99 horsepower, which came from the Mark III Jazz, which was introduced in about 2010, and then a 1.8 with 138 horsepower. There are also some diesels available, but as usual, due to controversial government legislation and all kinds of other reasons, we don't talk about diesels on this channel. So here we are on the Carrington Spur near Sale in Manchester, which used to be Britain's only single carriageway motorway, and we're doing about 50 miles an hour. This Type R, though, particularly as this one's been slightly modified, is actually not particularly happy because it does 0 to 60 in 6.4 seconds as standard, and it wants to go an awful lot faster than we can do at the moment at 38 miles per hour. It's interesting to drive this, actually, because over a wiper, Honda said you didn't need one because the screen would clear itself, and quite categorically, as you can see behind me, that is a lie, because it is not clearing itself. That's like saying it never rains in Manchester, and here we are in Manchester, and it is raining. So there we go. Make of that what you will, viewers. Very, very firm suspension in this car. I don't know if this car's actually had an even firmer ride to it. It's the GT version, and there are some modifications that have been done to it, so possibly. But this road's quite smooth, so it feels good. The only thing is, I want to be able to track at Suzuka, really, rather than driving on the Carrington Spur. But, you know, never mind, we'll take what we can get. Unfortunately, since my last visit to this area in December, someone has decided to use this bit of the road as a fly tipping zone. Never mind, viewers, we shall continue as we normally do. So this FN2, it looks alright, actually. I'm not massively keen on these black wheels, but I don't really like black wheels on any car, so that's not so much of a problem. When these Civics were launched in 2006, they were very, very controversial in terms of the design. Now, I don't necessarily think it's the worst decision they made to make them look a bit more distinctive. The EP3 Type R is a nice looking car, but the standard models that they're actually based on, not the most handsome thing ever, perfectly fine, but this is just a bit more distinctive, isn't it? I'll open up the boot. Apparently it's quite big on one of these. For a hot hatch, it's actually very practical. We can see we've got this strut brace in here, which I think is aftermarket. I doubt these came as standard like this. So this car has had some work done to it. It's done 178,000 miles, which is bonkers. We've still got the spare tyre in there, space saver, which is nice. If I can just move this floor properly. Total incompetence as usual, viewers. So yeah, this boot of over 400 litres is a bit hampered by this strut brace. Obviously, if you had a normal version, it wouldn't be a problem. Let's close this. I think it looks okay. These triangular sort of bits on there, they're not actually the exhaust, they're just sort of indicating where the exhaust actually is, but they look all right. A lot of cars have that sort of thing these days. I like this door handle. I think that's brilliant. So yeah, you can tell it has done some miles. Look at the wear on this seat, for example. Also, for some reason, this seat's a little bit broken, so I won't be getting in the back using that. I'll use the passenger seat. For some reason, I don't really know why this is, Honda decided that in addition to the key, as usual, you need a start button. It's not keyless entry or anything, it just is a normal key with a start button, which is very, very strange. Fortunately, the instruments can be turned from kilometres to miles per hour and back. We can turn the traction control off, which we won't be doing because it's wet and I don't want to crash this car. Strangely enough, and this is really weird, I don't think I've seen with so many other cars, that is the control there for the passenger to adjust the dual zone climate control. Because it's a GT model, we've had dual zone climate control. Rather like on the Mark III Honda Jazz, I've driven a couple of those, the heating ventilation controls are very close to the driver, which is fine. It's just if you're the passenger, you don't want to be reaching all the way over here to adjust the temperature. So that's why it's over there. Dash feels good, sort of hard in here, soft over here, which is weird. This texture's weird as well. So we'll put the key in. If I can do this with my left hand, there we go, we can. Which should light up the dash. Look at all this. Got little lights up there. The rev thing doesn't really seem to work very well. It's you want to use this rev gauge here, not that one at the top. Also, it's very keen to tell you that this is a Type R and it's got IV tech all the time. Over here we've got the display for the dual zone climate control and the time. So you have the speedos up here. It's very clear. You can always see the speedo, which is good. It's not a problem to see it. It's just in this position, I can't see the rev counter particularly well. It doesn't very well on film, but trust me, I can't see it particularly well. We've got the fuel gauge and temperature gauge there. The walnuts are sort of scattered around these three displays. It takes a while to get used to it, but it's okay. So we've got everything on this GT spec. We've got automatic lights, we've got automatic wipers, we've got cruise control, different sort of buttons for the steering, and a little Type R plaque down here as well. For some reason this car's fitted with a Mugen gear lever. I wouldn't have had one of that originally because this isn't a Mugen one, but there it is. Stereo, it takes you a while to sort of realise that this doesn't have a display down there, it's actually up here, which is fine, you get used to that. Once you've realised that, actually all these controls being grouped here are pretty logical. That's for the heated rear window and heated mirrors. Big lorry. The glove box is over here. Well, I have to see if that takes my secret mission dog. I think it does. Actually, the glove box is huge in this. Right, I think we'll just close this door so Lloyd doesn't take it off for me. Right, viewers, the Carrington spur out there is a bit loud, isn't it? Okay, so yeah, there's the door handle. It doesn't actually feel as nice as I'd thought on a Type R, really, but that's okay. Maybe I'm just being really fussy. Automatic power shot driver and passenger windows. For some reason, the bonnet release is right down there. I don't quite know why. And we've got these pedals, of course, because it's a Type R. I really should polish my shoes at some point, viewers. Yeah, it's got a footrest in here. So 6-speed manual, of course, being a Type R. Cup holders down here. Just bear in mind, before you think this interior is all falling apart, this car has done 178,000 miles. So, yeah. You'd probably be falling apart a bit if you'd done 178,000 miles. Little compartment in there for, I don't really know what, something. I'm not sure what you put in there. Door bins are really big actually as well. So, secret mission document test. I don't think we're going to have any problems. No problem at all. That's huge secret mission documents. I keep thinking I really want to try a normal one, like a 1.8 of one of these, and just see how it is, because for me the ride in this car is a little bit on the firm side, so perhaps not really ideal for somebody like me, but you know, nice and quick. Oh, viewers, what have we got in here? We have the mighty K20 engine, 200 horsepower from 2 litres of pure high revving action. The only thing I've noticed is it doesn't look particularly easy to access things. We've got this sort of strut bracing going on in here, which is probably why this car feels so stiff to drive. So we've definitely had some modification here, mild modification to that brake fluid reservoir, for example. Yeah, No, no hydraulic struts or anything. There was a facelift of this car in late 2010, but I think the Type R was actually discontinued for the second facelift of this generation of Civic. So I don't think it got the second facelift. The first facelift occurred about 2008, I think. But this is a pre-facelift one. Yeah, so not as easy to work on as I imagined. Although probably if you are into track days and things like this, this is what you want, isn't it? Right, let's have a look in the back, shall we? I think it's going to be a bit of a challenge. Okay, viewers, here we go. Stay there. Right, Mr. Manning from the Matty's Car channel. I've got my coat caught on the lever because that's just what happens. Let's put this back. That's not too bad. I mean, the passenger's not going to sit particularly in that position, and we've got some holes for racing harnesses and things. Which is, children actually do go in this car, so there we go. A little booster seat for all the family. It's actually, for a car like this, it's pretty spacious in the back. Obviously, you can tell that the normal version, you can get a 5-door as well, of course. The Type R's, I think, were 3-door only. It's a little bit dark in here, but because the headlining is actually a light colour rather than a lot of later hot hatches which are dark, it's not actually too bad. So yeah, decent amount of space. The boot is practical. I mean, what more do you actually need in your relatively inexpensive hot hatch from the mid-2000s? Okay, I think it's time for me to get back in the front and we're going to go for another drive. The lovely Carrington Spur, which used to be the only single carriageway motorway in the country. Okay, viewers, we've reached the end of the Carrington Spur, so we're going to go round and round about and come back, which should be pleasurable in this. Into third. Oh my gosh. Oh, oh dear, viewers. I've been really careful because it's actually wet today, so I can't go too crazy, but oh my gosh. Oh, viewers, this car's telling me to an absolute hooligan. Get out of the way, person in Ford S-Max. I want to go faster. Dear. Right, into fifth. Gearbox is quite nice, because if this car's done 178,000 miles, it doesn't feel too bad. It doesn't feel too bad at all. It's just, I need to go on a track day, because we've got strut braces and all kinds of other things in this, and the ride's a little bit firm. But I get the appeal of this now. I don't know if it perhaps is the nicest looking Type R ever made, but I can't believe how cheap these are. Mitch, who owns this car and normally has cars that are a bit more sedate than this, it was a Mark III Cavalier, for a Mark III Astra 1.4 engine, and a 1.25 Mark V Fiesta that I filmed near the Carrington Spur last time. He was recently acquired this for £2,500, so it's quite possible then to get one that's maybe not modified, maybe in slightly lower mileage for less money. But this is quite good fun for the money. I mean, I can't imagine that the Focus ST or the performance versions of the Golf from the time, about 2007, would be anywhere near as cheap as this, even at this sort of mileage. So consider this something of a bit of a performance bargain, and I have had my fun today, and now I need to go and have a lie down. Let's now look at some FK and FN Honda Civic trim levels. Now, there are a lot of them for some reason. For a car that was only made for about 5 to 6 years, I don't know why we needed so many, but here we go. The CI, the CIT, the ES, the ES GT, the EST, the EX, the EX GT, the LE, the S, the SE Plus, the SET, the SETI, the SI, the SIT, the Sport, the Type S, the Type S GT, the Type S GTT, and the Type ST. For these Type Rs, actually, there were several trim levels. This is the Type R GT. There was a Type R Mugen, which is more like an appearance package. You didn't get any more power. You just got a more aggressive body kit. Remember, Championship White Type R. So, viewers, should you consider an FN2 Honda Civic Type R as a not very sensible car for under £5,000? Well, this car costs in a region of £2,500, so you can definitely get them, and you can get them with lower mileage than this, and maybe not as modified as this. I think this car would be better just with a standard 1.8 engine for someone like me, and the kind of less stiff suspension. I quite like this, but in this sort of form, it's not particularly the kind of thing I normally drive. Anyway, thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video in the comment below, and we shall see you again very soon for some more reasonably priced and hopefully a bit more sensible motoring.
Every day with blue skies.